Good morning, YouTube. So it's like 5:47 and I am up, not usually this early, but I agreed to go take a boot camp class at a new gym close to here. And so I am trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat first, because usually I have a full meal before I go work out, or if it's something I do fasted, it's usually like less intense than a boot camp class. And so I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle. But I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just do like half of one of these. These are the ones that, like, yes, crumble apart on you like crazy. But I'm gonna do half of one, and there's 2 in each package, which is like almost nothing calorie wise. I think it's just gonna be more of a mental thing to have something in my stomach so I don't feel like so empty and like depleted. But I also don't want to like pack myself with stuff because the class starts like in less than 20 minutes. It's really close. I'm not gonna be late. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna have half of one of these. For 2 bars, it's 29 carb, 3 protein, 7 fat. And so I'm just gonna have one or half of one. So it'll be like, maybe like 10 carb, 1 protein, you know, 2 to 3 fat. And yeah, so like I said, not a lot, but just a tiny bit of something to tide me over. It's only a 45-minute class. It's not even an hour long, and then I'll come back and eat breakfast. Wish me luck. So I ended up putting a little bit of the Jif, just regular Jif whips on there, and it ended up, oh, there we go. Just for a little, so that it wasn't so dry. 2 tablespoons is actually a lot because it's whipped. So 2 tablespoons or 24 grams is 12 fat, 6 carb, 5 protein. And so I did less than 8 grams of this, so less than a third of this. I did about 6 grams. And I will put this all and calculate it more efficiently than I'm saying right now, but like I said, it's like 5:45. So anyway, so these are very minimal macros for me to add to this guy, which are pretty good, but like I said, very crumbly. Hello. Oh my god. Blah. I just got back from that boot camp class, and it was actually kind of killer, just because I think mostly because I'm so not used to working out at 6 a.m. Anything that's not like, you know, low intensity stuff. So I apologize for how crazy I now look. Oh, and anyone who saw that previous video about the Oreos, I'm finally cleaning out the empty packages. So now I only have a couple. Because remember I said that I keep the empty packages in order to know which one I need to refill. I've decided not to do that because it's very pack rat tendency, and I can just remember that they come out at different times of the year. But I am making breakfast. I'm gonna do 6 egg whites, and then probably 2 slices of this. Turkey bacon, at least this one. Oop, very clear. There we go. Is 2.5 fat, 2 protein, 0 carb, obviously, for each slice. So I usually do 2 slices. It's only 70 calories and, like, you know, just protein and fat. Most of my breakfasts are usually higher protein and fat, lower carb. It's not no carb by any means. I think I have about 15 grams of carb. I am going to use this. This. It's Sara Lee. Oh, here we go. Sara Lee Delightful 45 calorie slice. So a serving size is 2 slices, and it's 90 calories, and I think it's 9 grams of carb per slice. Yes, and each slice, okay, so each slice is 9 grams of carb and 3 grams of protein for a slice of bread, and they're normal size. So I usually have 2 of those, and then 2 slices of the turkey bacon, 6 egg whites, and then I'll probably sprinkle some cheese on it. Let's be real. Bear, you want to do your full day of eating too? What do we have? Some salmon and sweet potato kibble? Are you excited? Hold on. Wait. Bear. Bear. Oh. Okay, watch this, you guys. Watch her like convulse. How fast can I move my little tiny dog body in order to get this food down me more quickly? Hey! Hey! Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Bugs! You are so disgusting. Slow down. This is why she's not allowed to self-feed, because she's disgusting. Bear, are you disgusting? Do you eat fast? She's such a little piggy. All right, so the cheese that I put on is just Mexican blend, which is cheddar, Monterey Jack, queso, quesadilla, I don't know, whatever. It's a Mexican blend. The serving, which is the same for which is the same for most cheese, is a 1/4 cup, which is 28 grams if you're weighing it, which I usually weigh versus use a measuring cup. And it is 9 fat. The 1 carb is debatable, but they kind of have to put that on there if there's like negligible carb in it. So 9 fat, 7 protein, and I do not do a full 1/4 cup, more like an 1/8 of a cup. So, and as you can see, 1/8 of a cup is like plenty. So just so you know, a 1/4 of a cup, I mean, if you were to weigh out 28 grams, maybe it is what you're looking for, but for me personally, I don't need that much, especially just if I'm gonna top an omelet with it. So be aware that you don't always need like the full serving size. And then my turkey bacon is cooking. I am about to toast this baby. So the other thing that I would say about breakfast is that sometimes, not all the time, I'll have a vegetable with breakfast for some additional fiber, but a lot of time I don't want like something super heavy vegetable wise like first thing in the morning. I know some people like asparagus with their breakfast, which is great for you, but sometimes it's just like a little too fibrous for me. So if I do a vegetable for breakfast, it's usually spinach in my omelet, but I'm not today. Living life on the wild side, I suppose. I'll make up for it later and have green beans, I'm sure, maybe something else. I also don't eat a lot of fruit. It has nothing to do with the carb count or anything like that, I promise. I really just like to get my carbs from other heartier sources, if that makes sense, like rice and potatoes and things like that. Fruits do have great micronutrients in them, vitamins that everyone needs. And it's not that I don't eat any fruit, just it's not a daily staple in my diet. It's more, oh, toast is done. It's more like an off day, or if maybe we have an apple or a banana around, I don't use it until I need it, like to take it with me if I'm running out the door or something like that. So it's not something that I incorporate daily, but it's not something that I'm against either, because I know there's this weird misconception that fruit is like not good for you when you're trying to eat healthy, which is like bizarre because fruit is very healthy. It is high sugar for sure, but it's natural sugar, and the benefits of fruit outweigh the sugar in it as long as like all you're eating all day long is not fruit, you know? It's just like, use common sense. And I understand that some people, like me, just, you know, would rather not eat that in lieu of other carbs, but don't think that it's bad for you because of that. Like, that's not why I don't incorporate it into my daily meals at all. Always coffee, always, always, always. Black. The hard stuff. Alrighty, we are looking at the lineup for meal 2 before it all gets combined. Oh my god, all I have to do. It's not for you. These are still frozen green beans that I will microwave, and they just take like a minute and a half. Jasmine rice, ground turkey, it's 93.7 lean, and then just a from the vine tomato that I just plucked off the vine, and some liquid aminos. I have this situation happening where I just picked this up and it came flying off, but liquid aminos, made from soy protein. It's 0 calorie. It's essentially just a different soy sauce alternative. Has it's still, you know, high sodium, but lower sodium than most soy sauces. It is, I know, a favorite of a lot of people. Bragg's makes a good kind. And so I will put that probably on my turkey. Maybe put the turkey and rice together. I haven't decided if I'm going to put butter on my rice or not. But this will all turn into a more edible picture in a minute. Alrighty, so here it all is heated up. The rice is under there. And then I just chopped the tomato up and put it in with the green beans. And I did decide to go ahead and do this. May seem like a lot of sodium, but I don't have anything coming up for, so a little like daytime bloat I really don't care about. So I put that on there just essentially on top of the meat, and then it like soaks through to the rice a little bit, and eat them both together. This turned out to be about 5.5 ounces of ground turkey. I wasn't really sure how much I wanted to do, but that was as much as I had left, and so I kind of just finished it off. And then 20 grams of carbs worth of jasmine rice, and these are negligible calories each. So really this is the bulk of the macros here. Like I said, this is pretty lean ground turkey, so not a ton of fat in this meal, especially since I didn't end up doing butter on my rice. So I will make up for that later. I'll probably have steak in another because I need some more fats today. So what do you think, Bear? Is it time to eat? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, that was meal 2. So I'm about to make dinner, and this is a, how many pounds was it? Almost 5-pound chuck roast, bone in. Let me see if I can get, yeah. Bone still in, so it'll be extra juicy and awesome. Like I said, it's about 5 pounds, so it takes a little bit longer to cook versus like my usual sear and then eat steaks. But we're gonna put this in, maybe have some like potatoes and veggies with it. And I mentioned that I needed more fats earlier, so this is definitely gonna make up for that, because steak in general is fattier, and especially a roast like this, you know, still bone in. There's been nothing trimmed off of it, but look at it. It's so beautiful. I'm pretty low-key on seasonings generally, so this just has ground black pepper. There we go. And sea salt on it. And I don't always use sea salt. Sometimes I use regular salt, but it's really coarse. It's really big chunks of salt, and so it would be good for a roast like this. It's also big. I will show you the finished product. Here is the finished product. We have a few of these yellow potatoes, and they are, let me see. Woo, 26 carb, 3 protein, 0 fat for one larger potato of these, but some of them get pretty small and they tell you 148 grams. Most of them are less than 148 grams, so we will actually weigh them because these macros are pretty off. Like 148 grams is not one potato. But I might do like 2 of those in order to get up to more like 30 grams of carb. And then some of this, which will be like, I want to say maybe like 65% protein, the remaining fat. So it's pretty high fat, but I will do that. And then some veggies. Let me see what we have. Have some lettuce. It's just leafy romaine. And then y'all already know that I am kind of obsessed with tomatoes, so I'll probably put a tomato on there. Okay, so last meal that I kind of got out of the habit of, but I'm going to start eating again. I used to eat this every single night, is casein protein, which is a slower digesting protein than whey, for example. And so this this particular kind is 24 protein, 3 carb, 1 fat in each heaping scoop. I usually, if I do a scoop, it'll be level. But this is the Optimum Nutrition brand. I like this, and I like each of their flavors that they have. This particular is Chocolate Supreme. But the reason I do casein for my last meal is, like I said, because it's a slower digesting protein, and so before bed, I like to have that, and I recommend that versus whey before bed. It's not like a deal breaker if you have whey before bed, but it's just quicker absorbed than casein is. So what I do is just a scoop of this, or however much I have enough for. So tonight I only have enough protein left over for about 3/4 of a scoop. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm not very specific with how I measure it right now because, like I said, I don't have anything coming up. But I do 3/4 of a scoop, and then I mix it with water to just make it kind of a thick consistency. Alright, so as you can see, it's just kind of a thick, almost like really thick pudding consistency. And then I'm going to throw this in the freezer. Well, I actually microwave it first for like 20 or 30 seconds, and then I throw it in the freezer. I just like the consistency when I take it out of the freezer a little bit better, but if you're looking for more like ice cream, you could just put it in the freezer as is. I just have messed with it a bunch, so that's what I do now, is I'll microwave it for about 30 seconds and I'll put it in the freezer. And then I will top it with a few things afterwards. And the toppings, because this is usually my last meal, the toppings is where I end up kind of capping off my macros if I'm hitting a certain set that day. And then I'll just kind of throw things on there that match it, or I'll do more or less of this to get more or less protein if I need it, and do like a high fat thing on top, or maybe just some extra carbs next to it or whatever, throw an Oreo on there. And that's how I end up kind of capping my macros off. And it's an easy way to do that because it's just something with toppings on it, as opposed to one ingredient that has like really set macros inside it. Okay, so it's like hardened on top because it's frozen, obviously. So it kind of just looks like a brownie, which is the point. But obviously it's cold. I soon will be trying to find or trying out some of the protein healthy brownie recipes that people put up, but I'm always so lazy when it comes to healthy baking, so I end up just doing really simple things like this. So I'm now going to top it with 1 serving of this, which is 15 grams, and let's see, which is 7 fat, 7 carb, not a whole lot of protein. This is the crunchy version. Usually I get the smooth one, but YOLO. that was a little much. There we go. Okay, so I got my 1 tablespoon of that. I just put it on here. I will stir it around, and let's just do, told you guys I cleaned this out. I may do an Oreo on top as well. I have to recheck my macros, but essentially that's what I'll do is I just look at what I have left to top. I'll do that, usually some kind of a nut butter or cookie butter, and then an Oreo or like chocolate chips or something like that. And that is my nightcap meal. All right, well, that's it. That was a pretty normal, middle of the road macro day for me. Not a low carb, not a high carb or a refeed or anything like that. I had a pretty normal length slash higher intensity, but like 45-minute versus some of my longer workouts type workout. So it was kind of a moderate carb day. And I am more of a 4 meal a day, like 4 larger meals versus, you know, 6 smaller meals or 3 meals and 3 snacks or whatever. I'm more of just like a plan it out to have larger meals less often. I prefer that. I can do it either way, and I'm definitely a snacker if things are like in front of me, don't get me wrong. But generally I just like to eat more when I'm eating versus eat all the time. So that's just how I do it. Please give this video a thumbs up and let me know if you want to see more full day of eating. This is my first one, so let me know what you think. And comment if you have any questions or just want to chat. And please subscribe if you haven't already, guys. But otherwise, I will talk to you later. Thanks!